Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I have decided to go ahead. These are not going to be necessarily reviews. We're just going to talk about, certain things that happened throughout the show. There's no way that I can go into detail about what happened throughout the entire hour. There are too many people on this show. It's not the same as Housewives, where you may have 7 housewives and only girl 2 or 3 of them really have a storyline. you know, we started out I think with 23 or 24 people. I think now it's down to like 19. I can't remember, girl. But yeah, it's just too many people. It's too many conversations happening, and I'm not about to stress myself out trying to write down or capture or remember everything that everybody said in every conversation that was had in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the secret room, in the bedroom, out in the woods. So no. Anyway, but we are going to talk about the Traitors, and maybe once I don't. This is my first time watching the Traitors. I haven't watched any previous seasons. Um, I'm assuming that once it gets down to like maybe 3 or 4, 5 or 6, then we can probably be a little bit more detailed about the conversations. But right now, it's a no for me. Girl, get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
So, Caroline is the one to go home. When I tell you, I was talking about this last night when we went live. I'm going to put the link to the video where we discussed Michael and Colton. I'm not going to go over necessarily everything I've already talked about, but I will put that link to the video if you want to watch it. But we will still talk about what happened between Michael and Colton in this video. Anyway, so Caroline, she gets voted out. Baby, when I tell you the way I must have screamed. Hold up. So, Candace, Rob, and Lisa revealed themselves to Is it her name Caroline? Carolyn or Caroline? Carolyn. What the girl from Dubai? She's a Real Housewives of Dubai girly. I think she was also on another show on Bravo, House of London, London House. I don't know. Anyways, a white lady. Girl, she married to a gay man. Okay, I don't know if he's gay or not. Anyways, girl, he kind of gave me a little switch down river. Anyways, so they basically they murder Caroline. And when she saw who it was, she said, "Renna, you bitch." Hold up. And then she said, basically, like, why me? And then Candace said, you talk too much. Hold up. And then Lisa Rinna said, back to Dubai you go. Hold up. Hold up. I'm sorry. Hold up. Let me get it together. And then Caroline said, I'm sure I'll see you around at BravoCon. Lisa said, no, you won't. Bitch! Bitch! When Lisa said, no, you won't, like I said last night, bitch, as soon as they would have untied me from that tree, girl, me and Lisa would have been tearing that forest up. Girl, I would have got me a lick in on Miss Candace. I would have got me a lick in on Rob, and me and Lisa would have been windmilling each other, bitch. Bitch, me and Lisa would have fallen. Girl, what you just say to me? Girl, what you just say to me? Girl, pop.
Get in there! Sure, you gotta get in there. Somebody gotta pick your life. Elbow. Just let my backpack go. Bitch, you make me.
They got you in there, bitch. They ain't getting you, sister. They are getting you, sister. Bitch, they getting you, sister. They are getting you, sister.
One of the things that I don't like and I don't understand, this is the problem that I'm having, right? Excuse me. Because I don't really want to make my reviews too heavy. I really don't. But it's difficult for me to watch shows and not see certain things happening. Even when we watch The Housewives or Basketball Wives, and we see these microaggressions and colorism play out, it's hard not to just call it out for what it is. But then it's like, I really don't feel like going down that road. I understand that Ron is someone who does not come across as someone who's trying to make friends. He said it out of his mouth. He's not really trying to get to know them on a personal level because he thinks that it'll interfere with how he's trying to play the game. So that's something that he vocalized the last episode. So I get it, right? Sometimes, and I do agree with that to a certain point, right? Because if you start to get to know these people, you start to make friends with these people, then it may be a little bit difficult for you to kind of like vote them out if you feel like they really are a traitor. So if you kind of keep that wall up, it won't be difficult for me to handle my business when I need to handle my business. Because at the end of the day, only one person could possibly, I think multiple people can win the money. I don't know, girl, but we watching as we go along. But, it'll interfere with me trying to get this coin. So I get it. But I was talking to my sister last night, and I was saying this in my when I was talking about Michael and Colton. There is a clear difference in how Ron is being handled in comparison to Colton, and they both did the same exact thing. Ron was wrong about Portia being a faithful, even though we saw that Ron was right in thinking that Portia was a faithful based off of the shit that Portia was saying. So Ron was wrong, but he was right in how he came to that conclusion about why he thought that Portia was a traitor. Colton said it was Tiffany, and he was wrong. I don't see anyone in the house treating Colton as like they're treating Ron. And again, I'm also taking into account that Ron is not making himself available on a personal level with the other people. So that could be a part of the reason why now they're kind of like, girl, there go Ron. But y'all are still not treating Colton like y'all are treating Ron. And he did the same thing. As a matter of fact, to me, in my opinion, he did it twice because he did it with Michael and he did it with Tiffany. He literally said in the kitchen, I want to be responsible for you leaving the house tonight. There's a difference in how Ron is being treated, and there's a difference between how Colton is being treated. And they both did the same thing. I think it's so funny when Alan comes in. Girl, she's so dramatic. Is Alan gay? I don't know if he's gay or straight. I don't know. Anyways, so Alan comes in every time someone is, girl, taken out of the house, and girl, he gets their picture and throws it on the ground. I want to say it's so dramatic. Michael. Michael is Michael Rappaport. For whatever reason, I don't know why. Every time I look at Michael Rappaport, I think of the movie Powder. Girl, tell me Michael Rappaport and Powder don't look like they father and son. Girl, big brother, little brother. It's giving very much girl relatives. I don't know why I look at Michael Rappaport and I think about powder all the time. When I tell you Michael Rappaport, the way that he eats is so vile and disgusting and childish. I was looking at my television screen. I had to take my phone out and record Michael Rappaport eating. I want y'all to take a, and that's only like a few seconds. So I'm gonna like replay it, girl, so you can catch it. I want y'all to look at how Michael Rappaport eats his goddamn food. Okay?
And then he just was like, "Darn!" and then he was on a rampage. And then he just was like, "Darn!" and then he was on a rampage. And then he just was like, "Darn!" and then he was on a rampage.
That is disturbing on so many levels to me. How old is Michael? Let me see. Michael got to be at least 60. Girl, he look like he about 79, quiet as this kept, girl. Oh, he 55. Ooh, girl. Girl, spoiled milk. Baby, I thought Michael was at least in his 60s. Michael, you too old to be so young. 55 is not that old. Girl, who's that? Oh, girl. That's a ballet trash. Girl. Anyways, now I'm nervous as shit, okay? Anyways, Michael looks a mess. Michael is only 55 years old and he looks every bit of 69. Michael. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny when Natalie asked Ron, are you a faithful or a traitor? And Tiffany said, what is that supposed to do? Like, no, in real life though, like, girl, like, in real life, like, I'm with Tiffany low key. You asking him if is he a faithful or a traitor? Like, girl, girl, what is he gonna tell you? Oh yeah, I'm a traitor. like, girl, you just at this point you just talking just to talk. I laughed when they were in the kitchen. Some of the contestants were in the kitchen, and Candace bust through the door and was like, we're not closing our doors around here. Girl. And then Colton got up and just sashayed away real fast. So it's the round table. And Colton starts with Tiffany. And he basically tells her, you're the traitor I'm going after tonight. When I tell y'all, baby, the way Tiffany was wrapping Colton up, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love the fact that that black lady was sitting right at that table calling that white man stupid. I did. I loved it. 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 And she let him know, I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you, girl. And then he asked her, he told her, I'm not going to lie, even though, let me tell y'all something, I do not like Colton. Just an FYI, girl, I don't like Colton. I don't like Colton. I call him Colt 45. I don't like cowardly Colton because he is a coward. Be very clear. Girl, I'm just tell y'all right now. Some of y'all are going to like what I'm going to say when we get to Michael versus Colton. It is what it is. I'm not changing my mind. I'm standing to my shit, and I ain't changing my mind. Okay? Anyways, so he tells her, how do you spell your name? I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of giggle. When he asked Tiffany, basically, how do you spell your name so I can write it down the correct way? Now, you know damn well, I said, let me shut up. See, I'm not trying to go into these microaggressions. But anyways, he asked her how he spelled her name. And when Tiffany said Tiffany, like the company. I said, I know that's right, bitch. Wrap it up in blue, bitch. Hello? Anyways, so Eric starts to talk about, I don't know who Eric is. I think they say he's a musician, a singer. I don't know, girl. So Eric talks about how he's great with his ears. And he heard somebody laugh. I saw somebody online say that Tiffany should have asked him, are you trying to say the laughter that you heard was coming from a black woman? Because what makes you assume just straight up that it couldn't have been Tyra? It could have been Ron, because Ron doesn't have the most masculine voice. How do you know it wasn't Ron? What makes you just automatically assume that it was a woman's laughter that you heard? And what makes you think that it was mine? It couldn't have been Tara. Girl, y'all know I thought Tara LaPin, whatever her name is, girl, the white lady. Girl, I thought that was Tanya Hart. Girl, listen. Listen, I was like, bitch, they letting anybody on this show. Hold up, bitch. Bitch, it took me about 3-4 episodes to realize that, girl, that was not Tonya Harding. Because every time, girl, I don't know why Tonya Harding was stuck in my head. Tonya Harding was stuck in my head. Girl, that's Tara Lipinski. Okay, anyways. But how you know it wasn't Tara? How you know it wasn't Ron? Like I said, Ron doesn't have the most masculine voice. Anyways, he said that his ears, basically, he's great with his ears. And she told him, you're struggling today, but go ahead, I'm listening. She wraps up Jam Jam. Tiffany was working that table, baby. She got her licks in before she left, okay? Because they damn sure voted her ass out. But she got her licks in. Girl, when Jam Jam said, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of scream. Because at one point, Jam Jam and Tiffany started going back and forth. And Jam Jam was like, well, I'm just gonna write your name down. Can I go ahead and write it down right now? And then I guess they must have told him no. Girl, he had that piece of chalk in his hand. Hold on. He had that piece of chocolate in his hand like he was about to write her name down. And when they told him no, he was like, okay. Bitch, when I tell you, they are so dramatic. Yo, when he put his hands together like this, I said, I know that's right. Come on, petite fish. Anyways, Tiffany starts crying, and she basically says that she needs the money. She's not she's not a traitor. Candace tries to stand up for Tiffany by changing the course of the conversation and trying to, put the focus onto Ron. But they're not hearing it, and they vote Tiffany out. So Tiffany is gone. I don't know anything about Tiffany. Most of these people, not most, that's a lie. Some of them I have seen. I knew the housewives. I knew all the housewives, of course. I knew who Michael Rappaport was. I knew who Kristen was from Top Chef. Tara Lipinski, I know who that is. I knew that. I just kept thinking about Tonya Harding. I knew who Johnny was. Well, I've seen Johnny before. I knew he was an ice skater. So some of the people I've seen them, right? I don't necessarily keep up with them. And then some of the people I had never seen or heard of in my life. Eric. I knew Tiffany was from Big Brother, even though I didn't watch Big Brother when she was on. I used to be a Big Brother fanatic back in the day. I had never heard of Colton, but upon having conversations, I started to remember certain things about Colton that I heard in the news. So yeah, anyway, so Tiffany is voted out, and it's sad. It was really sad because when she started crying, and she's a faithful. Like, I think it would have been different if she really was like the traitor. Then I would have been like, oh, okay. Girl, you just putting on, right? But it's sad because she's crying and her feelings are probably really hurt because I don't think that she thought that she was going to be up for, elimination. Anyways, so the next morning, they're at breakfast and they're talking about, they're waiting to see who got banished. Monet X Change was banished from the house. They start having a conversation about crying too much, and then Colton says that he already cried too much on TV. He mentions being on The Bachelor and how Dorinda didn't know anything about Colton. She didn't know that he was on The Bachelor, and she asked him, hold up, so you went on a major TV show as a gay man? Like, because The Bachelor is really for straight people from what I understand. I think I've watched 1 or 2 seasons of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. And he says that going in, he didn't know that he was gay. So basically, Candace, Kristen, Ron, Lisa, they're all mentioning Michael about possibly being a traitor. Was it Ron? Girl, I don't know. It's too many motherfuckers in that house. Mara, Natalie, Rob, Michael. Girl, I don't know. I think they're all mentioning Ron as far as like being a traitor. Kristen thinks it's Colton. But you know what the funny thing about this show is that they say who they believe is the traitor with so much conviction, like, it's Colton. I know for a fucking fact. I'm telling you, trust me, it's Colton. Or like Ron, it's Dorinda and Michael. I know, I'm 90% sure. girl, you was also sure Portia was a traitor too. You know, like, but they really say it, they really believe that they know who is the traitor. I mean, Colton was onto something at the end, but anyways. So they go out, they have to play a game. Baby, the way I screamed when Candace, girl, I'm assuming, I was trying to look, it was like a, what is it called? It's not a, like a statue with the water in it. You know, like a wishing well. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, it was like one of those big old things with the water in it. I think they must have put like a wrap around it, because I was like, I know they just didn't go out there and fill that thing up with water and then have them get inside of that water. But I was trying to look and see, did they have it laced or lined with at least plastic? I believe they probably did. I almost think they did, and then they filled it up with water. And then they dyed the water like red or brown or whatever. It looked a mess. Anyways, Candace had to get in the water. And when I tell you, that when Candace said, girl, she gonna catch a yeast infection, who's gonna take care of my coochie? I love the fact, I want to give a shout out to Candace Dilla Bassett. Girl, I love the fact that people are loving Candace on this show. Quiet as it's kept, girl, if we're just going to be honest about it, Candace really had the same personality she has on The Traitors than what she had on Potomac. The only difference is, girl, my girl was always, girl, slinging bitches left and right. Okay? Girl, fighting for her life to the point where, girl, y'all really couldn't see her for her personality. But the personality has always been there. Don't ever get it twisted, baby girl. Okay? Now the girls love Candace. Y'all loved her on Potomac too, but y'all also fought up Giselle's cooch. Girl, let me shut up. This ain't got nothing to do with Potomac. Anyways, shout out to Candace. Candy girl! Anyway, so the shields are also, okay, so they're playing a game. There are shields hidden below the statues. So they basically have to carry a statue and place it and bring it back to a certain place to get the money. But when they pick up the statue, there are shields there. So if they take the shield, if they leave the shields there, then nobody will be murdered that night. Great, right? If they take the shields, then they will be protected, but someone will be murdered by the traitors. Girl, I would have took the shield. Especially if I was a faithful. I would have taken the shield. I would have taken that shield. I would have taken the shield. At least that would have granted me one more night in the house. I probably would have taken that. I would have taken one of those shields. Anyways, so they get back to the house. One thing I think is so weird how they do this. I really want to know. I'm sure there are videos out there about how this is set up. That like they film, they're dressed up, and then they go play a game, and then they show them dressed up again. Like, you know, in their clothes. Like, it's weird. And I'm like, I know they didn't go back to that house. And plus, I heard they don't even stay in the castle. It just appears as though they make it look as though they stay in the castle, but I heard they actually stay in a hotel. So it's just weird how they have it edited, like where they show them eating breakfast and then they go play a game and then they put on, like, you know, athletic gear or wear, whatever. And then they come back and then they show them back in the same clothes. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, so Ron and some white man, I don't know the white man's name. Dorinda and a white man, they're talking. And then Ron comes in and they're talking, and Ron says that he's 90% sure of who's the traitors. And they ask him who is it, and he tells Dorinda straight to her face, he said, Michael and you. I said, bitch. Hey. Ooh, wee. Michael and Colton, they get into it. Michael is telling Colton that he needs to be you need to be a tad bit more humble, based off of the fact that you messed up and you swung at Tiffany and you missed. Which it kind of brings me back to how the way that Ron and Colton is still moving in a way where it's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all got to say. Cause bitch, okay, I got it wrong. I sent the wrong bitch home. Okay, and whatever, on to the next, right? And they're still not treating him like they're treating Ron. Again, I do have to bring into the conversation that Ron is not making himself friendly with the other players. Ron has said out of his own mouth, okay, that basically, fuck y'all hoes, I'm here to play a game, this is how I'm gonna play. I ain't trying to be y'all friends because it's gonna mess up my gameplay. So maybe it's kind of like, well, girl, fuck her. Like, like, girl, she don't want to be our friend. So it is what it is. Anyways, again, Michael and Colton are getting into it, and Colton says that I want to be responsible for sending Michael Rappaport home. So they're at the round table. Girl. They're at the round table, and Candace starts the discussion. Do you want to address the shouting that was going on in the kitchen? I don't like Michael Rappaport at all. If Michael Rappaport disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't even care. As far as I'm concerned, they could really put Colton and Michael Rappaport in a room, lock the door, and girl, may the best woman win. I don't care about Michael Rappaport, and I found out that I don't like Colton. I had never heard of Colton prior to this show. Well, I thought I had never heard of Colton prior to this show. But then I was talking to someone, and they were like, he was a bachelor and he was a virgin. I was like, oh, I do remember hearing online that there was a bachelor who was a virgin, blah, 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 blah. But prior to this conversation, I hadn't remembered that I had heard of his, like a tad bit of his story. So prior to this conversation, when Colton first popped on my screen, I was like, oh, they say the bachelor. I was like, okay. I thought he was cute. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't no hater. I was like, oh, Colton is cute. And then I think by like the third episode, by the second episode, I was already scrunching my face up at Colton. It was just something about him that just was rubbing me the wrong way. And then I think by like the third episode, I saw people talking about Colton online and how he had a restraining order put out on him by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. And I'm like, girl, what are they talking about? Girl, what are you talking about? Girl, what is she talking about? Shout out to Dr. Heavenly.
What is she talking about?
So I'm like, girl, what are they talking about? I didn't know anything about this. I just knew that he was cute and he was on The Bachelor based off what they said on the Traitors. And I knew that I didn't too much care for him. That's all I knew. I don't too much care for her. It's something about her that rubs me the wrong way. She's cute and she was on The Bachelor. I don't know, girl. Now she says she gay. Girl, I don't know. And so I went and did a little digging. Colton is a mess. Colton, from what I read, harassed, stalked, put a tracking device on his ex-girlfriend. And then after all that happened, he came out as gay in 2021. Then he went on to get a show called Keeping Colton Comes Out, something like that. And now he has a husband and a child, a son. So, Michael says he mentions Tiffany was sad and alone, and she was isolated and pissed off, and it was this man. Girl, at one point, girl, I was like, girl, you might as well go ahead and call Colton a faggot. Because quiet as this kept, I felt like that's what Michael really wanted to say. Girl, a mess. Because he was like, this man. I said, okay, girl, you're doing too much. But nonetheless, he says that Colton is conniving, colluding, commiserating Colton. Then he calls him a coward also. At one point, Rob C was like, you're using commiserating the wrong way. Honestly, I didn't know what the word meant, so I had to Google it my damn self. So they start to go back and forth. And then Michael says that nobody in this room will be good at holding secrets than you. And then Colton says, there it is. And then he was like, you think it was fun? That was 29 years of my life. And then Michael was like, I didn't mention nothing about no 29. Girl, I didn't mention nothing about no 29 years. I didn't say nothing about no closets. Now, this is the thing. A part of me definitely thinks that Michael was lying. And the reason why I say that is because they started calling Michael out because they felt as though Michael was taking a jab at Colton's sexuality and how he was in the closet and then he came out of the closet. Michael said, girl, I don't know what closet y'all talking about. At breakfast that morning, Michael was right beside Colton when the conversation was being had about Colton being on The Bachelor and appearing as a heterosexual man. And Colton said out of his own raggedy ass mouth that he didn't know that he was gay going into The Bachelor. That's what he said. But now at the round table, it's, that was 29. You know how hard it was, girl, for 29 years of my life. No, we don't know, because, bitch, what you just said, girl, a few hours ago was that, girl, you didn't know that you was one of the kids when you stepped foot on The Bachelor. The Bachelorette, because I think he was a contestant at first. So he was a contestant at first on The Bachelorette, and then he went on to do another show, I think Bachelor in Paradise, something like that, and then he eventually became The Bachelor. So he went on the show 3 different times. 3, bitch. Let me say this. I think a broken clock is right twice a day. And I think this was one of the times that Michael was right. He is cowardly. It was colluding. It was conniving in how he lived his life. Yes, just listen to me. I know that everybody has a story. I'm going to bring myself into this in a couple of seconds so I can give a better example. The fact that Colton presented himself as a heterosexual man and went on 1, 2, 3 reality TV shows looking for a wife, knowing damn well that he wanted a husband based off of how his life appears in 2026 with a husband and with a son, that does show that he is good at keeping secrets. Motherfucker, you went on a reality show, not once, not twice, but 3 different times. And not only did you go on these reality shows presenting yourself as a heterosexual man looking for a wife, you then stalked the lady, harassed the lady, had a tracker put on the lady, sent her harassing text messages. Girl, you're a mess. You are a coward. Don't ever get it twisted. I know firsthand how hard it is to come out of the closet and live in your truth. Now, I will say, thank God I don't have the story where my family was a part of the reason why I didn't come out. It was more so what I thought my family would say, what I thought they would do based off of the stories that I would hear from other people on how their family reacted to them when they came out and said that they were gay. My family didn't give a fuck. Okay, once it hit the fan, that I was like, oh, girl, well, shit, I should have came out a long time ago. So it wasn't necessarily my story. I was taking on the things that I had heard from other people, and it put a fear in my heart that once if I decide to come out, then this is going to be my life too, because all the other girls, or a lot of the other girls and boys, not all of them, they have some of the same stories or similar stories. Rodney Mitchell, in 2026, I have never had a girlfriend. I have never had a wife. I have never had sex with a girl. I have never had sex with a woman. I've never went out on a date with a woman, any of that. I am full-fledged 100% gay. And never along in my journey did I present myself to other women as straight, as far as trying to be in a relationship with them. Now, there were times in my journey where I did tell people I'm not gay. You straight, yeah. But I wasn't around here bringing other women into my shit. It does make him a motherfucking coward. I don't care how you say it. Because I understand how hard the journey is firsthand. But even in the journey, you still chose to live the life that you chose to live. It was a choice for Colton to get his ass down to that reality show, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and tell these people that he was a heterosexual man, knowing damn well what the word on the street was, how he came out the closet, was that he was in bathhouses in Los Angeles, California. I don't feel sorry for what Michael said to Colton, because it was the God honest truth. You are good at keeping secrets. Look at how your motherfucking ass went on 3 goddamn reality shows as a heterosexual man, no, a gay man, but presented yourself to be straight, looking for a wife. If anybody in this motherfucker can keep secrets, motherfucker, it is you. You are a coward. That was a choice you made. The same way I talked about my ex-boyfriend. If he sees this video, girl, I'm sorry. But the same way he was married to a woman, he has a daughter, and now the daughter is grown. They got a divorce because he was gay. It does make him dishonest. It does make him deceiving. It does make him cowardly. I understand that we are sometimes forced to be in a closet due to society. But at the end of the day, either you gonna do what's right and not be a coward and live in your truth and not bring other bitches into your shit, or are you going to take the route that they take? It's a very sensitive topic, a very sensitive conversation. You made a choice to marry a woman knowing damn well you wanted to be laid up with a man. That was a choice. I made the choice to live in my truth and say, you know what? I'm getting tired of this shit. Let the cards fall where the cards fall. And girl, if the people fuck with me, they fuck with me. If my family fuck with me, they fuck with me. If they don't, they don't. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm tired. But what I chose not to do was go out here and bring a woman into my motherfucking life knowing damn well I wanted to be laid up with a motherfucking man. I can understand how difficult it can be. But Colton, I don't think his story is the same as other people. Colton just didn't come out here and say, you know what? I grew up in a religious family, and hopefully they told me they could pray the gay away, or, you know, I'm going to try to be with a woman. Girl, Colton has went on reality dating shows looking for a wife, knowing damn well from what the word on the curb is, allegedly, he was out here in bathhouses, girl, with men. Harassing his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, knowing he wanted to be with a man. Colton's story, for me, is not the same. It's not. And I think when he sat at that motherfucking table, he weaponized the fact that Michael had just put his foot in his mouth to some of the contestants, and he rode the motherfucking wave. 1 minute, you didn't know you was gay. Now at the table, you see that the girls don't like what Michael just said. Now it's, oh girl, I had to deal with this for 29 years of my life. Did you really? Well, what about the other shit? You're a coward. He is a coward. He's very much a coward. He is. He's deceiving. His acts were duplicitous. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. Again, everybody has different stories. And I know this is good. This has turned into something whole completely different. Everybody has different stories. All I can do is tell you that I decided not to be that man who brought a woman into my world knowing damn well I wanted to be with a man. Were there times in my life where I was like, girl, maybe I should just try to go have sex with a woman? Yes. Were there times, I remember one time when I was like 18, 19, I was like, I need to have sex with a woman and have a baby. This is how far gone I was. I used to tell myself, I need to have sex with a woman and have a baby so when people in my hometown found out that Rodney had a baby, they wouldn't think that I was gay anymore. Did I do it? No. I finally decided that it is what it is, and I'm not going to let nobody have no control over my life. If you want to be a part of the Rodney train, be a part of the Rodney train. If you don't, then you don't. Girl, fuck you. Have a nice life. Girl, it is what it is. Again, I wasn't out here trying to manipulate women, enter in relationships with girls or women. None of that. Not like none of that. And let me just add this part also. It's not that I couldn't have slept with a woman, because I definitely could have. Now, the girl might not be all the way, girl, 100% trade or 100% masculine, but girl, I can walk down the street and fit in with the other niggas. Don't ever get it twisted. Okay? That ain't nothing to brag about. I'm just saying. It's not that I couldn't have slept with a woman. I could have slept with a woman more than a couple of times, because best believe the opportunity definitely has presented itself to me. I could have had a girlfriend a long time ago. I'm saying I chose not to live that way. It was a choice for me not to live that way. And this is coming from somebody who has been called gay since I was a little boy. Okay? Be very clear about it. I'm not new to this shit. I've been called gay since elementary school, intermediate school. They've been saying, oh, you talk like a girl. You kind of act like a girl. Middle school was the same. High school was the same. Even some in college. It is hard to talk about Colton's story without talking about the whole picture. It is hard to just say, oh, Colton is a gay man, but then not include all the other things that led up to it. I don't feel bad for Colton. What Michael said was the absolute 100% truth. It may be insensitive, but it does not change the fact that the way that Colton has went about his life and the things that he has done and the way that he has presented himself in certain relationships, that you would be the kind who could keep a secret. And you would be a good traitor based off of the fact that you took your ass onto a major television show and presented yourself as heterosexual not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Yes, that actually would make you a good traitor. Look at the fuck shit you done did. Yes. Saucy Santana couldn't present himself as a heterosexual man walking around here with a 40-inch bust down, beard, girl, MAC makeup, and girl up and nails. Saucy Santana couldn't present himself as a straight man. Quiet as just kept, bitch, I could barely present myself as a straight man. Colton has presented himself as a straight man and lied and lied and lied again. And then got mad when Michael said, girl, you are good at keeping secrets. He is. Colton's story ain't the same as the other gays. Colton trifling as fuck. Period. And I believe what happened with Colton is when his ass got caught up into some shit with Cassie and the shit really hit the fan, he decided to finally live in his motherfucking truth. Now, all of a sudden, how the fuck you go from not knowing that you were gay to having a restraining order put out on you, to you coming out of the closet and saying that you're gay, to having a husband and having a child all after 2021. Bitch, we just hit 2026. And you done managed to date a man, find a husband, and have a baby in that short ass span? Girl, stop. I'm not buying it. Colton is a fucking stunt queen. I don't give a fuck what Michael said to him because it was the motherfucking truth. And I'm not changing my mind on it at all. And the reason why some of the gays are defending Colton is because of the way that he looks. It's already that Colton is a white man, and then when you bring in the fact that he has blonde hair and blue eyes, and most people would deem Colton attractive, girl, he could damn near get away with murder. Not over here today. Colton ain't shit. Michael ain't shit. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. It ain't got nothing to do with defending Michael Rappaport. I don't give a fuck who at the table said it. I would still have the same stance based off of Colton in his life. Girl, I got worked up. Girl, anyways, girl, Rob C told them, girl, I don't even know what we're talking about, girl. This girl, what we talking about? Rob C told Lisa and Candace that Colton is coming for Lisa. And Lisa said, I know I shouldn't have trusted him. Well, girl, y'all the one who, girl, now, like, I get it. Girl, y'all don't want to lose your integrity or your morals based off of a little bit of money. But girl, the fact that y'all, now all of a sudden, I knew I couldn't trust him. I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. Well, girl, y'all just voted out Michael. Let me say something. If y'all gave a fuck about who Michael Rappaport was, then y'all would have voted his ass out the very first fucking week. Catch that tea. Y'all know who the fuck Michael Rappaport was. Y'all knew the shit that Michael Rappaport has said and done on social media. Y'all knew it. Y'all knew exactly the type of motherfucker he was. And y'all still kept him around. But now y'all gonna kick him out of the game because, girl, you want to stand up for cowardly Colton and the way that he decided to live his life and harass that lady knowing he was a gay motherfucking man. And then weaponize the fact that he is gay to get out of this fuck shit with Michael. And use him being gay to escape, girl, the backlash of him doing that white girl wrong. It don't fall on deaf ears that all of a sudden, after the shit hit the fan, you got the restraining order put against your motherfucking ass. Now all of a sudden, you want to be gay with a husband and a baby. Girl, fuck Colton. What Michael should have said right off the rip was, based off of what I Googled on you and what came up, you were on not one, not two, but 3 reality television shows looking for a wife, presenting yourself to be a heterosexual man. So yes, when I say that you will be good at keeping secrets, that's exactly why I said what I said. And that's why I believe that you would be a good traitor. You went through life being with women, being with girls, girl, the football player, right? I'm the virgin. And they say that you were in bathhouses jacking off dicks. Yes, you would be someone who could be a good traitor. Look at how you managed to slither your ass in to 3 different reality shows, girl, looking for a wife, knowing that you wanted to have a husband. I don't know how the fuck that's wrong. Because what I just said is facts. You would be good at keeping secrets. Look how far you went with keeping the secret that you're gay. And made a woman's life living hell because you couldn't come to terms with your fucking sexuality. And so you decided to stalk and harass a woman. Instead of just living the life that you wanted to live, which was with a man. I don't like I'm sorry, I can't lump everybody together. This is one of those scenarios where Colton, whatever the fuck his name is, Colt 45, can't be lumped in with the other gays. I think what he did was just beyond trifling. What my ex-boyfriend did was trifling. He grew up in the church. He was forced to believe he was going to hell and all of that stuff. It still doesn't make it right because you knew that you wanted to be with a man. And eventually, now he's with a man. Anyways, girl, it is what it is. I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Girl, fuck Michael Rappaport and fuck Colton as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a fuck about neither one of them. This ain't no Michael Rappaport page. It ain't no Colton page. I don't give a fuck about neither one of them. Not Colton and not Michael Rappaport. Be very fucking clear about it. Colton could disappear tomorrow and I wouldn't give a fuck. Michael could disappear tomorrow and I wouldn't give a fuck. Again, and I'm going to be done after I say this. I understand the struggle. I am someone who was very active in church, especially as a teenager. I remember wearing shirts to school. We used to call ourselves No Limit Soldiers for Christ. I remember going to Lily Grove Baptist Church in 3rd Ward in Houston, Texas. And this was like in the early 2000s. And I remember the pastor getting in the pulpit, Lily Grove Baptist Church, I don't know if it's still around, and 3rd Ward in Houston, Texas. And I remember the pastor getting in the pulpit. I forgot what he was fussing about, but I remember him saying, "My mama ain't raised no sissy," right in the pulpit. Do you hear me? I have had thoughts of suicide due to me being a homosexual, due to a pastor and his family coming in my job at Ace Cash Express located on Richmond and South Shepherd in Houston, Texas, making me feel horrible for being gay. So when I say, bitch, I get it, I get it. And with all of that, I still chose to live in my truth. And while I can provide space and understanding for other people who have different stories, who may be more traumatic than mine, worse than mine, or those who may not, I cannot take away that when it comes to Colton and the way that he has maneuvered through his life, Michael Rappaport did not tell one lie about him being able to hold secrets based off of how he has lived his life. That man has walked through life and been on reality shows looking for a wife, still being able to keep the secret that he secretly wants to be with the man. That is someone who can keep a secret. And that is someone who will probably make a good traitor based off of the fact that you went on 3 different reality shows looking for a motherfucking wife, nigga. The fuck? Then you walk around here with this smug attitude, with this smug look on your face, with this smirk on your face. I don't trust the girls like Colton. If y'all want to know what a stunt queen is, it's Colton fucking Underwood. That is the true definition of a stunt queen. Colton is a stunt queen. Michael ain't shit. Fuck Michael. We done talking about Michael. Colton is a stunt queen. And he has managed to slither his way out of accountability based off the fact that he is white, he is attractive, and he's, gay. He has managed to slither his way out of accountability. It does not fall on deaf ears or blind eyes that after you got caught up into that shit, you finally decided to live in your truth. And now you're walking around here with a motherfucking husband and a son. I heard you when you said that when you went into with The Bachelor, girl, you didn't know that you were gay. But at that table, now all of a sudden, it's 29 years worth of secrets. Motherfucker, which one is it? Did you not know or did you know? You still can't even get your story straight after a husband and a baby. I'm done. This wasn't even supposed to be this type of video. Girl, the next video it should be more of a review. I don't know what the fuck this is. Girl, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good night. I'm about to watch Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Girl, next video, if it is one, my attitude should be a whole lot better. I don't give a fuck about Michael or Colton. I could even give Colton a pass if he dated women and due to whatever, a religious background or whatever, just society period, telling us that we're going to go to hell and, we're going to burn in hell because we gay and we're an abomination, all that shit. And he, said, you know what, I fucked up and I let the world get the best of me and I wasn't honest about how I really felt. And I hate that I put this woman or these women in these positions to think that they would have a chance at living out this Cinderella story. I would be like, okay, girl, it's trifling, but okay, girl, whatever. I think the thing that really makes my asshole itch is I feel like when Colton got caught up in his shit, he pulled the gay card. And even though a part of me feels like Michael was talking about Colton being gay or being able to keep a secret due to him being on those reality shows, I still feel like in that moment also, Colton pulled the, oh, you're going to say that that it was a secret that, it was fun for 29 years. I felt like Colton pulled the gay card again. I do. Because like I said, girl, at the beginning, at breakfast time, you had a completely different story. I thought you were straight. I thought you didn't know that you were one of the girls walking into the Bachelorette. But now it's something that you had to deal with for 29 years. Girl, you're lying. Girl, I keep talking. Girl, I'm done for real. Girl, I'm done. Because I done repeated myself 15,000 times. It's over. Next week, hopefully it should be better. Girl, because I don't know what the fuck this was that we talked about today. But next week it should be we done with Michael and Colton and we can move on. Yeah.